everybody, and welcome to a very special post-season phone interview with Maddy. Now, look, this is one of our last phone interviews of the season. We only have a week left of Big Brother Canada. So, I know all of you are asking, what's happening with the end of the season? What's going on? Let me fill you guys in. First of all, wherever you're watching this, make sure you thumbs up and subscribe. It really helps support our shows on YouTube, as does leaving a 5-star rating and a nice review on iTunes. So does commenting below where you're watching. All right, now look. You can see all of our past content over on our website, yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan, but you already know that. But the spoiler blogs are there, check them out, they're amazing. The spoiler graphics, the recap blogs, all these shows with past house guests. It's where the shows with the jury members will be as well, but it's not where we do them live. We do them live over on YouNow, so you're going to want to make sure you become a fan over there. yourrealityrecaps.com/YouNow. It's totally free to become a fan. You get alerted when we go live, and I keep telling you guys, we're live every night of the week. I know you're like, where are the videos if you're live every night? We can't find them on the website. I only put the shows on the website that have house guests or that we're talking specifically about reality TV and stuff like that. But we are live every single night of the week over on YouNow. So make sure you become a fan over there. Now, if you loved what we did this season, please consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron. You get access to the patron-only Facebook group, prize giveaways just for patrons, the after shows when we have the jury members on YouNow live for an hour. Once the live YouNow show is done for everyone, we're going live in the patron group for a special private after show. So you only get that if you are a patron, and the T comes out over there. Of course, you can always do a one-time donation at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. Consider it like a tip if you love the trash draft this season or all the content that we're providing you. It's the only way we can continue doing it for Big Brother 20. Without your guys' support, we can't do it. And not for nothing, you've asked, we're covering Amazing Race again. That's right, because I don't know if you heard the rumor, next season is going to be a Big Brother season. So we are going to be covering that for you guys as well. But look, I get it. You're here because you want to hear about Big Brother Canada and from Maddy. So let's go get on the phone with her. Hey, Maddy, how are you doing?
Hi, Eric. I'm doing well. How are you?
Great. So first question. Good. Do you regret not saying more to Will during the veto comp, like explaining that he was already Final Four and your trio would have had control of the votes so he didn't even need to drop?
The answer is yes to your question. However, the reason why I did not say all of those things is, first of all, things are happening fast, and Will, I don't want to say Will gets overwhelmed, but when there's a lot going on, you kind of have to take your turn when it comes to how he's going to think things through. Also, I had pointed out some just straight up Big Brother facts in the past. And like, for example, the fact that if the person not on the block won the veto, so in this case it was Will, that Derek would be the only replacement nominee possible should the veto have been used on one of the initial nominees. But everybody treated that as if it was some, like, witch, speculative, like, amazing scheme. But really it was just, this is what happens now when there's 5 people. So for me to shout, veto is a win for you that already guarantees you Final Four, so that literally invalidates what Derek is saying right now. I had caught so much heat for pointing out the obvious before that my hesitation was, well, shit, if I say that, it turns out that I'm, the craziest person ever, and so manipulative. So I should have said it. I honestly should have. But when it comes down to it, it was already happening right there, and I wanted Will to feel like he was making the decision for himself. I was already being pegged as a mental threat with all these crazy schemes and so strategic, so I kept it in. I shouldn't have, but I did.
All right. You told Paris that you were sure whichever the two of you stays will win the game. What made you believe that?
Unfortunately, it was not necessarily that I believed it in my heart. When it comes to Paris, she responds really well and really strongly and, with motivation to those types of statements. If somebody believes in Paris, Paris believes in herself. So for me to say that to her kind of kept her spirits up, kind of kept her, with her head in the game. So even though I do believe that she does have a potential winning game, it was more just like, all right, Paris, like, don't get too down, because she was very upset about the idea of me leaving at her staying.
Okay. It seemed like you and Johnny were really close for a while. What made you change over to Paris and Will?
That's actually a great question, because it feels it feels like that was sort of something that has been overlooked in general. I think that Paris, Will, and I had talked to an extent about how we were going to look like we were less unified than we were. I mean, in retrospect, I'm sure everyone knew all along, but when it came to Johnny, I kind of said what I had to say to sort of make it seem like I wasn't with him as much, and it ended up being too effective, because I kind of later on realized that whatever I was saying to him was getting back to them, but they weren't taking it as this is the plan. They were taking it as if I was trying to separate myself. Overall, it was hard to trust Johnny, because I knew how aligned he was to people like Olivia and Allie, who were very vocal about wanting me out of the game. So in the end, just to invest lots of my energy and trust into a relationship with someone who in the end I knew wouldn't prioritize me over others, it ended up kind of being like a fade out on that relationship. I love him to death, though. He was an excellent player in this game. He did really well.
Okay. Do you have any regrets on voting out Allie over Kayla? Why didn't you think that voting out a stronger couple would have been better?
That's a great question. I do see the benefit in voting out a stronger couple, but when it came to, I only had a few things to work with when I considered my decision. First of all, that Allie had been vocal about evicting me throughout the game. Her pitch to say that it would be an even playing field, or a more even playing field should she stayed, did have me thinking for like a good while during that week. But in the end, I just couldn't put my trust into somebody who had always, I'd always been expendable to her. Kind of in addition, I was, even though I had my suspicions at that point, and they did kind of convince me that Will and Paris never had my back, and we'll find out in the end. But I did think that our best shot, the three of us, at getting through that triple eviction was via Kayla and Derek. Oh no, there was one more point I wanted to say. Oh no, Big Brother brain. Voting out Allie instead. Oh, yes. Okay, so part of what I was kind of hoping to achieve if I was to make it to Final Two is, even though I didn't have direct influence like a competition win or HOH or anything, I wanted to personally curate the jury as long as I could with all of the people who wanted me out, so I could say, look to your left and right and find someone who is in a seat that doesn't have to do with me. So to have Allie out was kind of part of that end goal as well. For her being so vocal. Ryan was the start of it. He didn't want me in this game. Allie didn't for the long term either. So having her in the jury was important to me as well.
All right, last question, Maddy. Do you think that being a super fan help or hurt your game? Do you think that maybe sometime it's less pressure and easier for a casual viewer to play?
I guess that's an interesting thing to consider. When I like something, I really like something. So to consider the idea of being a casual viewer on Big Brother is hard to imagine for me. I think it helped me in the end because I was, I had a pre-awareness of how much I would need to study, about how, competitions would work, about, little things like that, kind of like the factual side of things. But it did put lots of pressure on me, especially because I had a lot of preconceived ways that I thought I would play this game that didn't end up happening. So when I was hard on myself, especially, it had a lot to do with the fact that from a super fan's perspective, and I used to be such like a callous observer of these house guests saying, be stone cold, be this and that, and then I got into the house and was the complete opposite. So super fan when it came to, morale and being hard on myself was a hindrance, but when it came for, the ins and outs of how the game was going to work, I believe it helped me.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us, Maddy.
Awesome. Thank you for interviewing me. This is so fun.
Bye-bye. Well, that about wraps up our show with Maddy. Don't forget, you can see all of our content back over at yourrealityrecaps.com/bbcan. And if you want to watch us do these shows live every single night of the week, be alerted when we go live with your favorite house guests. Again, make sure you're a fan over on YouNow. It's completely free. yourrealityrecaps.com/YouNow. If you want to be a part of the after shows, if you want to help support all that we do here, all we're going to be doing for you post BB Can season. Consider becoming a patron at yourrealityrecaps.com/patron, or if you want to do a one-time donation, think of it as a tip, you can do that over at yourrealityrecaps.com/PayPal. It's a great way to help us be able to keep bringing you guys more content into Big Brother 20, into Amazing Race Big Brother season, everything you guys have been asking. Of course, the Real Housewives of New York audio blogs are up on the website. We are bringing you more shows, Survivor shows, John's back, Amy's back, so much more content for you guys. We hope you're loving it. We hope you will support us. Thumbs up and subscribe if you are listening on YouTube. 5-star rating and a nice review over on iTunes, and we will see all of you guys on the next show. Bye for now, everybody. Bye.